Ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome back to Your Point. This is episode number 11.
No, 13.
Oh, is it
13?
12. I'm getting my numbers mixed up. See?
Yeah, I think we did 11 last week.
We did.
Or 2 weeks
did.
ago. Yeah.
The week off threw me off. See, that's what happens when we don't talk every week. Like, either way, this is
what happens when you go to SEC Media Days?
When you go to SEC Media Days, your brain sort of turns into scrambled eggs. It's okay, though. We persevere and we move forward. As you just heard, he is Blake Ruffino. I am Chris Phillips. Guys, we got a jam-packed show. Lots to get into. Everything from SEC Media Days, some of our favorite and not so favorite takes from the week that was. SEC versus Big Ten is taking center stage, both on and off the field. The debate rages on. 8-game versus 9-game conference schedules, college football playoff format. And we got some other stuff to update you on as well. But again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Once again, this is To Your Point. Thank you all so much. Make sure, as always, you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Check us out via podcast, or we get your podcast. You can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. And as always, we are powered by our friends over at FANDUEL. Visit FANDUEL.com/SECU to join today and get started with $250 in bonus bets when you win your first $5 bet. Once again, that's FANDUEL.com/SECU to get $250 in bonus bets today. Like I mentioned, this is To Your Point, whatever episode it is. I'm Chris Phillips. Joining me, as he always does, my good friend Blake Ruffino. After a week hiatus, obviously last week we were in Atlanta, Georgia for SEC Media Days. Blake was busy. I was busy. Content bleeding out of the eyeballs, the unofficial kickoff to the college football season. Blake, what's going on, man? Great to see you. Great to chat with you once again, my friend.
I think today's episode is going to be a little bit spicy. I got to be honest. I'm walking into today not being able to hear Tony Petitti on Big Ten Media Days. I think that that's garbage. I think that there's just a lot of things that have been said, Chris, that quite honestly we are allowing people like Eli Drinkowitz to say things that are unhinged. And look, I had the debate today. Come debate my ass. Please, dear God, I dare any one of you that are in media to come in here and debate my ass over the AQ model versus the 5+11. Chris, the 4 media members that are pushing this work for Fox and CBS.
That's typically who pushes everything in college football. I feel like that's the decision makers at this point.
Well, it comes
off
the Big Ten?
Yeah, Fox. Yeah,
Fox and CBS.
Yeah, and CBS now. Yeah.
So again, I'm coming into this a little bit aggravated, to be honest with you, because I don't think this is what I think is happening. The ESPN, Big Ten media know that they're wearing you down. Hell, they're wearing some of the media down on this. And then to beat down the fans, to be like, you know what, it's over with. Chris, I got in a debate with people today about it. Like, oh, I like the AQ model. No, you don't. You have no idea what the AQ model is. You want playing games? Chris, we'll get into this, but I mean, for what? Listen, as someone who already in the month of July is going to get over 1 million views on a national college football show. Yes, please give me more games. That makes me more money. Please, dear God, I double dog dare you to do it, but not in the asterisks of what this does to the sport. Eli Drinkowitz ran out there and said, we need a 30-game playoff. Someone on God's green earth is going to have to explain to me what a play-in game is then.
Yeah, that was the weird part of what he said, and I'm still not sure I understand from the standpoint of he went on social media and went after – I'm surprised he didn't come after us, but he went after a few people that posted his comments and saying that it all got twisted and turned and taken out of – it wasn't understood correctly where he wants – but I'm like, a play-in game is a playoff. What is the difference? We're literally starting a postseason format where it's an elimination game.
Yes.
I didn't. He was trying to say, like, no, I want to get us to 16, but have, like, play-in games to get there. I'm like,
well, then that's a 30-team playoff.
Right. What's the difference? I don't understand.
There isn't a difference.
Right.
Yeah, there is not a difference. I got to be real with you. Danny Cannell posted a tweet today. And look, I guess we can just go ahead and get into this.
Yeah.
About him being now anti-expansion. Okay? Welcome to the party, pal, a.k.a. Bruce Willis. Hashtag Bruce Willis. Chris, just to reemphasize what this is, we are sitting in the preface of two or three massive things here. Forget the House settlement case. Forget NIL. Forget the portal. We are working through those things, okay? Those are being worked through. Let's put those in its own category of things that need to be fixed. Right now is the biggest thing for college football that we have. The expansion of the playoff and how we're going to expand the playoff if we even do expand the playoff. Now, there are two models in this forum. You have the AQ model where the Big Ten gets 4 teams in, the SEC gets 4 teams in, the Big 12 and ACC get 2. You have the number one top-rated group of 5 unit, and then a +1, so the largest, the best at-large bid, which, if you're Notre Dame, then that means that they're going to put in Notre Dame over some of these other teams and conferences who, by the way, will be doing play-in games. So let's just bring that there. Then in that AQ model, you will have 6 teams from each conference on Championship Saturday playing games around the conference. Well, then what is Championship Saturday then? What does it matter?
I don't feel like it'll exist.
It won't exist.
It won't exist.
Saturday for a reason. That's number one. So you're basically, in turn, with the AQ model, making what is essentially a 30-team playoff. Now, you in the SEC and the Big Ten, because I know this is an SEC-centric show, I understand what we will say here. Now imagine South Carolina having to play Alabama again if it were last year, and Illinois playing Rutgers or Nebraska. What is the same? It's not created equally.
Yeah, I was going to say, Blake, not to interject, but does it feel like in college football we have more of an inequality problem than a how many teams in the playoff problem?
Welcome to the NFL draft.
Right.
Chris, the down year of the SEC still got more draft picks than the Big Ten. You have 6 coaches within 4 years of their program. 6. You had 8 new quarterbacks that were first-time starters last year. Oh, the conference is down. All right. We'll see you week 1 and see how down they are when Texas goes up to Ohio State, and we'll start getting a determination here. Last time that happened, Chris, the Big Ten won back-to-back national titles. I'll just throw that out there. Or the SEC didn't win back-to-back national titles. It was Florida State and then Ohio State. If people remember, there was the last time that it happened. It was also the biggest gap in the SEC when turnover happened. We'll see what happens this year. But then you have the 5+11 model, the one that makes the most logic. I will concede that the 5 champions should get in. Guess what it does? It makes Championship Saturday and the teams that are going for championships very relevant. Very relevant. But then it's the +11 model for me if you expand to 16, which, by the way, I do not agree with expanding to 16 teams. I don't think that there's 8 teams that can win the college football playoff, much less 16. So you're putting it half more that can actually even win, which I don't even agree that 8 can win it. I think there's probably 4 to 6 every year that can win it. Now we're getting to a place where, Chris, we're not getting the best teams in. Now, Eli Drinkwitz, the Big Ten, some of these teams are saying, well, the NFL, you don't get all the best teams in. They have 30 teams, and there's more equality around the NFL. You want to know why? Draft. Chris, the worst team in the NFL last year was the Tennessee Titans. Where you live currently, they got Cam Ward. Well, guess what? The number 1 overall player in the country is going to Georgia. There's no inequality when it comes to recruiting. So now you want me to sit on my laurels and say that I don't want the best teams in. I'm not trying to call anybody out when I say this, but last year, a lot of national quote-unquote media that covers college football were screaming from the rafters that SMU deserved to be in because they should not be penalized for losing to Clemson. Why should South Carolina be penalized for beating Clemson? So now you're literally in an AQ model, and in what you had last year with a championship series, what you had last year was you had people really going out there saying, well, SMU doesn't deserve to get dinged. South Carolina didn't deserve to get dinged for playing 7 ranked opponents. Chris, here's another thing. Would you consider Alabama last year to be down?
Yes, by Bama standards, yes.
By Bama standards. They went 4-1 against the top 25. Indiana beat one team above 500. One.
Yeah, we're back to this. We're back to this argument again.
So we're back.
No, I agree with you. I agree. Indiana lost one game? Or what they went they lost to Ohio State, right?
They lost to Ohio State,
right.
Yes.
And that was the big debate, that should that one loss keep them out? And I think the answer was yes. They didn't beat anybody.
They didn't play.
They beat anybody with a pulse.
Chris, your record does not indicate who you are.
And I think that's why everybody's got sort of now it's just, I mean, why would you schedule anyone difficult out of conference? Why would you? You gain nothing.
You gain nothing.
You gain nothing. Schedule all cupcakes, have the easiest schedule possible. Win as many games, because I think it's when they showed last year and they look at it, if you're 12-0, 11-1, 10-2, they don't look any deeper than that. It's Chris, just record. It's eye test. It's at that level of eye test.
Think about this. Let's look at some of the teams last year that got into the playoff. SMU had a 77th ranked strength of schedule. Georgia was at number 1. Notre Dame had the 78th strength of schedule. You wanted me to tell you what Texas was in a down year? They were 38. Ohio State, who deserved to be in, had the 25th strength of schedule. But now let's go down to Boise. They were at 81. They got a first-round bye. That's what automatic qualifiers do. Arizona State was at 66. If you do the AQ model, Iowa State gets in. Iowa State was 69th. Now, let's go to teams like South Carolina. 6th.
Yeah.
And I understand, I've been using South Carolina as a model. I do think that they were better than some of these teams. Bring up Bama for all I give to Rudy Poos. I could care less. Kirby Smart said it best. Why are you looking at the record in an expanded playoff and wins and losses when I could literally go out there and schedule Rudy Poo cupcakes in the beginning, and you'll ding me, but you won't ding SMU, you won't ding BYU, you won't ding these other teams that get automatic qualifiers. Why don't the games on the field matter? I got to be honest with you. Tony Petitti, the Big Ten commissioner, quite honestly, over the last 48 to 72 hours, has made a damn fool of himself in the sense of he's backing Michigan. I'm not going to get into those bag of weeds at the current moment on the SEC-centric show. But he's backed Michigan after all the craziness that they've done. He doesn't want to come off this AQ model because it's what he thinks is the best for the Big Ten. Good for him. Good for you for sticking up for your conference. It's your job. You're supposed to. But stop telling me that you think that this is the best thing for college football. He made a statement today to Ross Dellinger saying, we have mathematicians in there. You also agreed with a committee with Condoleezza Rice in it. Please do not come at me telling me that you think that we have a good structure. Chris, strength of schedule was not even a part of last year's football standard. You would have had, I mean this with all due sincerity. What are we doing? We're getting to a place here, Chris, do we want what we believe that you're not going to have a perfect model? Do you want the best teams in right now, or do you want automatic qualifiers for equality? Newsflash, buttercups. When you play sports and you put on your chin strap and you put on your pads in sports, the name of the game is to find out who is not equal. That is legitimately what we're trying to do. Chris, if you lined up against me and if you're a one technique and I'm a center, I love you to death. I'm beating the dog shit out of you. I love you to death, but I am going to rock your shit for 60 minutes. And that is what sports is about, is it not? I start getting so pissed off to the highest degree when we get into these situations and you're trying to tell me the 5+11 model isn't the best. What are we doing? Chris, what in the godforsaken hell are we doing? Now, last but not least, you were at SEC Media Days last week. How many times did you get asked the question 8 or 9 conference games?
A lot. The main talking point.
What did you think? What do you think? Because I've talked a lot here. What do you think?
I think the SEC should push back. Stick with 8.
Please tell me why.
I don't. There's just no advantage to 9. I mean, again, it's why would you schedule tougher? The schedule's already tough. You're not getting rewarded for it. Why add another one? I mean, I think there's multiple layers as to why. It depends on what angle you're looking at it from. Heck, if I was a coach, I'd say it's. I mean, I think Drinkwitz said it's coach or maybe somebody else. It's coach preservation. Like, I mean, why would I potentially add another loss? It makes no sense from you. The SEC has nothing to gain from doing
nothing.
That. Nothing to gain.
Nothing. Again, think about this. Last year, if you keep the top or the bottom half of the Big Ten and the SEC, this is where teams rank. LSU and Nebraska were at the same level per the conferences. Who are you taking on a neutral field?
LSU by a mile.
Okay. Guess who was below LSU technically because of the bowl loss versus Illinois? South Carolina. South Carolina versus Rutgers. Who are you taking?
Yeah, Gamecocks in a bloodbath. Yeah.
Do you see?
It's not equal. I mean, we'd agree it's not equal.
It's not equal.
But you make a great point. It's like there's not equality in sports in that manner.
There never is.
There never was.
No.
There never was.
Chris, let me ask you a question. Last year, the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions, both at the end of the season, were like 14-1, 14-2, whatever they were, okay? Minnesota was a wild card team. They literally went out on the field and beat other teams, and they should have been higher ranked. Who says the NFL model's perfect? So basically going and winning those games in the regular season really didn't mean much. You know what makes college football unique? What's always made it unique is if you go every single Saturday matters. In an AQ model of a play-in game, why would I care about going 9-3 when I can go into championship Saturday and win and get in? Why? Why would that matter to me? Like, if I got to play Bama, Georgia, Texas, South Carolina, if I got to play them all again, fine. Okay, if that's the model that we get to, you know more than most because you listen to me more than most, I think, that I have come after Greg Sankey for a lot of things. This is not going to be one of them, and where the entire conference has got to stand behind him. Coaches are never going to run out there and say, no, I don't want to play 9 conference games. No, I'm not soft. I don't want to be. I'm not soft. I play whoever. They're not going to come out there and say that. So when you ask a coach, the coach is not who you need to be asking. It literally is the commissioner. It literally is the people and the fans and some media that can have these conversations. Why would I go to 9 conference games? Chris, again, I can bring this up. Alabama went 4-1 against top 25 teams. 4-1. Notre Dame got beat by Northern Illinois. And you want to consider Alabama's bad loss to Oklahoma? So you didn't give Notre Dame any real credence of that with a 78th ranked schedule. Okay, but you're going to ding Bama for losing to Oklahoma on the road? I feel this is what I truly feel. I feel as if common sense is walking out the door. I really do. Please tell me, even if it's the Big Ten, I don't think that some of these teams deserve to get in over Illinois. I don't. Chris, they went through a tough Big Ten slate. Why in the world should they be dinged? See, people come on the SEC show and think to themselves, oh, this guy's hammering for the SEC. Sure. Okay, whatever. They had 3 of the 4 teams that were on the outside looking in. Let's do Illinois then. Please have that same debate with me. Chris, I have begged behind the scenes, and you know how I get. I have begged some of these people who are going after the AQ model and saying, let's go do this. I have begged them to come debate me. I am 0 for 4 on this phone right here of people that want to come in here and debate it. 0 and 4. You know, and you want to know why? Because they know that it's not what's best for the sport. It isn't. I don't give two. Chris, Iowa State or BYU would have been in the playoff over Bama. Good Lord. And I'm not a Bama homer. I'm an LSU dude. I'm not a Bama homer, but at least I can look at it in its infancy and say one is not created equally. It never will. And I'll tell you this is why the Big Ten does not want to do this. Because if 2023 happens again and you got a 9-3 LSU on the outside looking in, and you're going to look at that committee and say, well, LSU had the third ranked strength of schedule. Yeah, we're probably going to put them in. They want to have the equality to the SEC. If the SEC was down and you had the 5+11 model, guess what? You get 5 teams in. We get 4. Why don't you go play it on the field? When did we get to a place where playing it on the field didn't matter?
Participation trophy culture, Blake.
I mean,
it feels like to me.
This long tangent, but we are in a spot, Chris, I swear to you. But listen, again, please go to it. Where's my wallet? My wallet is screaming AQ model. It is screaming, Blake, stop it right now. Go to the AQ model. Chris, I'll have 24 games in the month of December that I didn't have last year.
Yeah.
What? I mean, what are you screaming? But again, it gets to a point. You know what we should do? How about this play-in game? If you want to go to play-ins, where the teams are ranked in each conference, find a way to go and play another team then. And then let's see. Then let's find it out. It's what you do in the field of 68 with men's basketball. They're not playing in their own conference. So again, I'm sorry for going on this long tangent. We're in a bad spot, man. We have legitimately awesome media members and Tony Petitti out here pushing the AQ model that makes 0 sense. Yeah. And here's the last thing I'd say. I said this 3 times. I swear to God, this is the last thing I say. I'll say, everybody keeps telling me about regionality. Well, you expanded last year, and USC and the West Coast teams outside of one West Coast team made the playoff last year. How's that regional for your ass? Good teams are going to be good teams no matter where they're located. So stop screaming at me regionality. Chris, the Central Time Zone is beat the dog shit out of everybody. There's no East Coast teams winning it. It's been Central Coast teams that give a shit about football. Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, Alabama, LSU. Those have been the teams that have won in the last 5 years. No, those aren't blue bloods at all. Chalk didn't win out at all. Thank you. Chalk has won out. Mm-hmm. And you're talking to me about equality and where things are coming. Last time I checked, Ohio and Michigan are still in the same Central Time Zone as Bama and LSU. Regionality this. It's like, the guy who says, got him. That's how I feel. Got him.
I think the most unfortunate part, Blake, and we've had this conversation for years, I feel like, at least I know I have with different people, is that I just remember growing up where, it wasn't a perfect model like the BCS, which, I don't know, you could actually go back and say the BCS wasn't all that bad. But, yeah, with the expansion, man, and it all being about the playoff, because I agree with you. It's like we're getting to the same end result anyways. The bet that it's Chalk is going to win out. I agree with you. Every offseason, we overshoot when we have the conversation how many teams can win the national championship. We give too high of a number, if we're being honest, because it's like 4 to 5 teams, really, truly, that have the personnel. They have all the pieces to win it all. But it's just unfortunate. It's made, especially bowl games, it's made a lot of stuff that used to really matter in college ball less impactful.
Well,
for sure.
Chris,
Those games don't even matter anymore, dude. Like the Orange Bowl, the road. Well, and unless they're part of the playoff, winning the Outback Bowl used to kind of be a cool thing. Winning the Peach Bowl used to be a cool thing. It's like it doesn't really matter anymore. So
well, and Rhett Lashley, just to throw this in there, the SMU head coach literally just took a shot at the SEC at ACC Media Days, saying the SEC has had the same 6 schools win a championship since 1964. Not a single one has been different since 1964. That's top heavy to me. That's not depth. Buddy, the ACC champion went 0 for 3 versus the SEC last year. Clemson got them cheeks clapped. Please do not come in here and talk to me about being top heavy when you had to pay your way in the league because nobody wanted your ass.
That's a wild statement.
It's a very wild statement.
That's a wild statement.
SMU gets to come to Baton Rouge. You're gonna, and I love Rat. I love him to death. Well, literally on this phone, tell him I love him. Dog, Chris, the SEC keeps taking shots, and for once, Greg Sankey said, "Come take it, then. Come take it."
Yeah, I appreciated that at SEC Media Days. I will, and again, I appreciated that when he stood up for the SEC. I mean, it's his job, again, like you said, for Petitti to defend the conference. I'm pro Greg Sankey. I haven't even been as critical of Greg Sankey as you have, Blake, but I will say this, and I think we talked about this off the air, but honestly, what I took away from listening to Greg Sankey at SEC Media Days is I'm like, this guy doesn't feel like the lead decision maker. It's kind of like Batman when Bane says, "Do you feel in charge?" I'm like, do you feel in charge? That's like if that Greg Sankey is that guy, and it's like Bane is like the TV networks, the people behind the scenes that really, do you feel in charge? That's I was like, this guy doesn't feel in charge to me. Like, he's the talking head that comes to us all and reassures it's going to be okay, and the SEC's in a good spot. But I'm like, he didn't really answer anything for me.
Let's throw this out there. Okay. Who had majority of the playoff games last year? What TV network? Starts with the E, ends with
ESPN. Yeah.
ESPN.
Yeah.
Why in the world would they not want SEC teams in there? Why? I mean, here's another thought. Let's not even look at the SEC. Why wouldn't they want the best teams with the biggest fan bases in the playoff? Yeah. Why in the world would I ask SMU to be in a playoff?
It's a TV product. I mean, that's what it is. And I think the playoff continues to expand as long as, people keep watching the games, advertisers keep paying for the space, the ad space. I don't know where it stops, bro. I don't know.
It stops by not expanding. And it might be Greg Sankey's best thing that he's done.
Yeah.
And listen, what's ESPN going to do? I mean, here's the thing. I feel like Greg Sankey doesn't understand the leverage that he has in some extent. Is ESPN going to kick off the SEC? What if Greg Sankey told ESPN, no, I don't want to expand and I'm going to go at the 5 and 11 model and you can't stop me from doing it? What is ESPN really going to do?
Yeah.
Please.
You're not going to bite the hand that feeds you.
No, you're not. I mean, you're legitimately not. It's not like ESPN has the NFL where it's Fox and CBS that have the playoff games. This is what you have. Because you have so many games, it's what you have. So again, this might be a Fox and CBS versus ESPN, but the God's honest truth is we do need a decision maker. And look, if Greg Sankey doesn't agree to a 5+11 or doesn't agree to the AQ model, and Tony Petitti doesn't agree to the 5+11 model or the AQs or whatever it is, they're not going to expand. I mean, they got to make this decision in December. And I will tell you this, as God is my witness, let Greg Sankey accept it. Please let him accept the AQ model. And I'm going to call for his resignation, because there's no way in hell that if you're the commissioner of the SEC that you can allow this to happen. You had 3 teams on the outside looking in last year, and it's going to continue. Again, Chris, this also comes to the point of what I'm trying to make. don't act like media does not have a big thing in this. There were massive accounts that were out there, and I can show you every single video and every single tweet because I went to war with some of these people who were saying, oh, well, SMU's 11-1. They don't deserve to get dinged. Then you don't know football. Then you do not know ball. I'm sorry, you don't. If that is where you want to draw the line, then you don't know what you're talking about. I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. You better not come at me and say record. Chris, I think Florida beats SMU last year, if I'm being honest. At the end, line them up at the season. End of the year.
Yeah.
Line them up at the end of the year and see what happens. Florida and Caleb Banks and them going to come in there and they're going to gator chomp all over your ass. Chris, they threw 3 interceptions in the first half versus Penn State. They allowed 7 sacks in a half. In a half.
Yeah. Yeah.
God bless Captain America. Again, this is where we sit, and I'm glad as we go and talk about this about SEC Media Days from last week. Brother, it's the sport that I cover the most. Mm-hmm. You know, like I don't, maybe some do not, you know, when it's baseball season or basketball season, we don't get into the minutia. I've been in the minutia. Like, just because you have not seen everything that's been posted doesn't mean that there aren't people out there that know the inner workings of this. Chris, I feel as if that most of these people are going out there screaming about AQ model because they want to make money. And again, Chris, you want to make some money, brother, as in the media business, as you and I are in, preach the AQ model. Because I promise you, this good God gracious, great balls of fire, we gonna make it. Could you imagine 7 more SEC games that hit your platform? Please, dear Lord.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. You think the SEC bends the knee on the 9-game conference schedule?
Let's get to that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because you heard Sankey push back at SEC Media Days, but then not even like 5 minutes later, he's asked about the 2026 schedule. When's that coming out? And he said, well, you know, it's kind of dependent upon whether we stick with 8, we go to 9. Again, I was like, it doesn't feel like a very firm stance you just took.
Well, half the league doesn't want to do it because if you're South Carolina.
Shit, it's got to be more than half, right? I mean, I'd imagine most of them don't want it.
Well, 1 second. Half of the league already has a rivalry game with the team in the Power 4 outside of their conference.
Yeah.
Florida's got Miami and Florida State. South Carolina has Clemson. Kentucky has Louisville. I'm forgetting.
Georgia's got Georgia Tech.
Georgia's got Georgia Tech. I mean, why would they want to go to that?
Yeah.
I mean, why would they want to go to that? I'm not saying that I am completely against the 9-game conference schedule, but Tennessee was determined to have the worst schedule last year in the SEC, okay, or Texas, but it was technically on paper Tennessee. They played Bama and Georgia. Yeah, that's really weak. Yeah, it's really weak. No, it's not. So let's just say for Tennessee's sake, hypothetically speaking, let's say that you add Texas. Let's say you add Oklahoma in a good year. Let's say you add LSU. Why did the SEC pressure of 9 games has nothing to do with the SEC. It has everything to do with guys like Danny Cannell running out there preaching it, Brett McMurphy going out there preaching it. And I like Brett a lot. Brett has no idea. Ask Brett what a 3 technique is. I double dog dare you. Okay? It is the Big Ten.
Like that video I sent you. For those that don't know, there's a TikTok. Let me see you getting a 3-point stance. Let me see you getting a 4-point stance. I was like, this is Blake anytime he sees some of these goofy takes out there. Just
draw up hey, I got a basic thing for you. Draw me up zone read. And I know what most people are going to do. They're going to draw it based off of the video game. And that's not how this works. That's not how real life works. So, Chris, did you know that 85% of zone reads that Jaden Daniels ran 2 years ago had an RPO based off of it? I mean, like, it's not that simple. So then you get to a place where on the 9-game conference schedule, I feel like it's the Big Ten and the media trying to push the SEC to this. Again, Chris, let me read this off from last year very quickly. Texas had the 38th strength of schedule. Georgia had number 1. Tennessee had 21, which is still really, really tough. Bama had the 11th. South Carolina had the 6th. So again, A&M, by the way, had the 23rd. So LSU had the 13th. So you're getting to a place where, why am I adding another game when none of you had a stronger strength of schedule than I did? You can go to strength of record. Do you want to do that? Because the SEC dominated there too.
Why? Yeah, like, what does the SEC need to prove from a schedule standpoint? I mean, not all of them are built equally. I get that, but I mean, I did think Sankey said it well. It's like, you want to play it? Come on. Like, I mean, why do you don't need to add a 9th conference game. The SEC to me doesn't need to prove anything.
No, they're constantly having to prove that they're better because of the last 2 national titles. So what if the SEC went out there 2 years ago, but when Georgia won back-to-back national titles and said, hey, Big Ten, you got to prove stuff to me?
Yeah, I mean, like the last 2 national titles, one that, yeah, I mean, one Connor Stallions aided and the other one aided by a $25 million roster. So, I mean, all you proved was
a Sabanless.
If you want it bad enough, you can get it. If you want it bad enough.
And look, I don't really consider Ohio State in that realm of like the Big Ten in the regards of like Ohio State's been dominant, right? Like, I mean, let's just be real. Ohio State's been dominant for the last 4 decades. I mean, Ohio State to me is not like, hey, if they win it, okay, this is a surprise. You should expect Ohio State to be in there every year. Michigan, okay, great. You got through the pack and you got one. Chris, again, Rhett Lashley just said this. 6 different teams in the SEC have won a national title over the last 20 years. 6.
Yeah.
6.
It's funny he tried to make that as a point to diss the conference.
When it makes it even deeper.
Right. That's what,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
Hey, ACC, you have 2.
Yeah.
You have 2. Like, stop that. I don't think that they should go to 9 conference games. Again, why would I do that when it's not created equally? If you ask coaches and ADs, they'll say, yeah, because they don't want to back down from anybody. But here's the instant solution that Tony Petitti did not accept. You ready? An SEC Big Ten opener every year.
Kind of like we have this year with Texas, Ohio State.
Yeah, and see what happened 2 weeks ago before you went to SEC Media Days. The conversation that you and I had was Ohio State and Texas. Boy, that game has got a lot of intensity now to it, doesn't it? Well, basically, we're sending Texas to the state of Ohio to say, you got to now represent for the SEC because there's a lot of minutia in the offseason that rides on this. If Texas goes into Columbus and beats them, Chris, Greg Sankey could say, told you so. And you'll be there.
And I'll be there. It's interesting though. It's like kind of ironic how it's like, we know you just got here, but we're putting it all on you.
Chris,
you got to carry that flag now.
Chris, we're doing it both to both teams that just entered.
Yeah,
Oklahoma plays
got
Michigan
week 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Please.
But hey, it's like, hey,
on the tier.
It's like, hey, you're one of us now. You got to go, take care of business. You want to be one of us, take care of your business.
Let Sark go up in there and lose. I'm not like Cole Thompson. I will not be on the knob.
Major pause. Major pause.
Major pause. As the president of the pause committee.
Yeah, that was a very pause-worthy moment from the Bear for sure. No, it's going to be interesting, man. It's just it's the theme of college football right now. There's more questions than there are answers. So, but yeah, if I'm Greg, you got to stand on business. If you're Greg Sankey, you got to stand on business.
Chris,
Absolutely.
The commissioner of the Big Ten talked earlier. It wasn't televised.
Yeah, I've heard that. Like none of their stuff's on TV or anything.
Well, they'll have it. They have they'll have the coaches and stuff like that.
Okay, but they didn't have Petitti.
Why?
Right.
Why?
What's he saying that's all that important?
Chris, the only conversation that he's had publicly is with Joel Klatt. What does Joel Klatt work? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Fox.
Right.
Again, go into enemy territory. Now, let me ask you this question. Greg Sankey said this at SEC Media Days. He said that him and Tony Petitti talk 4 to 5 times a week. About what? So there's no resolution. What in the hell? Chris, me and you talk 4 to 5 times a week. We get into all kinds of crazy conversations. What in the hell are they talking about then?
Yeah. I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe it either. But it also brings up the question, I guess, to you, what was the biggest thing for you at SEC Media Days outside of this minutia?
Yeah, because Sankey kicks off the week, obviously. I heard some other conversations he had with some media folks. And again, to me, it was more just I didn't get any answers out of Greg Sankey. I mean, I even heard him kind of joke about the talking about the AQ and the 5 plus 11. He's like, yeah, we've got the 2 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1 plus 4. Like he's kind of like making light of it. And I'm like, it is a pretty serious thing. I mean, but essentially he's just saying like he has no answers. So he said a lot, but it felt like he said a lot of nothing.
Welcome to Greg Sankey.
Like I said, he had that one shot at the Big Ten, that one shot of kind of, protecting the shield, if you will, protecting the conference. But outside of that, he didn't go up there and there was anything that he proclaimed that was all that, it kind of sounded like the teacher from Charlie Brown, just womp, 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 womp. You just kind of tuned it out after a while. You're like, okay, all right. Other takeaways from SEC Media Days. Yeah, it's a good question, Blake. Number one, the event was awesome. Really cool. College Football Hall of Fame was neat to see in person. So it's always a fun event. I think it's one of those things, Blake, you and I talked about. Nobody's winning and losing games at Media Days. It's really, I mean, listen, it's an event for the media, which I know sounds really obvious, but it's really just an event for the media to network and to come together and interact and engage. And people do tons of interviews and crossover stuff. And we did that stuff too. And, it's content palooza, content just bleeding out the eyeballs. It's also interesting who's not there. And I don't blame anybody who doesn't go because it's really not a necessary thing, if you will. But I don't know, man. I mean, I felt like there was a lot of Oklahoma Auburn talk, especially amongst us, of like who's going to be that surprise team in the league. That Tuesday when we got Kirby, or what was it? Tuesday, I think we got Kirby, Heupel, Freeze, and was it Sark too?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sark. Yeah, that was a huge day.
Yeah, when if you remember, when Sark was walking in and Kirby was walking out, Texas had flipped a 5-star recruit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, what you more so take from media days, Blake, is the conversations you have with like the local media, the local beat writers. Mm-hmm. The coaches and players aren't really going to give you a ton. They're so well media trained. Dude, these coaches, I think, have never known less about their teams. I mean, that, Blake. They think they know, but there's a lot of guys they still haven't even seen suit up and go through practice. And there's just so much still for them to learn during fall camp. So you learn a lot more from the guys that are covering the teams, the behind the scenes stuff that they're not going to say. But no, I mean, it was a good week, man. I mean, I don't know if there was one like huge major takeaway that I'm like, man, because I try not to like gravitate to one particular thing like that or, overreact to anything positively or negatively. Yeah. So, I mean,
is Oklahoma or Auburn going to be the surprise team, or is Florida? Is Florida in the category of being a surprise?
I was about to say, like, I think Florida's got some pretty high expectations.
Okay.
Like if they like, I mean, you could just look at where they're picked. Or I think they were picked to finish 6th, right behind, or what was it by the media? South Carolina was 5th.
I got to be honest. I didn't look at anything from the media. Yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, Blake, I already went in on this. The media poll was
a joke.
I mean, listen, if you're picking Vandy or Oklahoma or Tennessee or whatever to win the entire league, I don't care if you do that. But my God, have the balls to stand behind it. Blake, I would pay to get the person on our show that picked Vandy to win the SEC. I just want to hear the reasoning.
$20 says that Chris Marler is one of them. I hope he's watching.
I don't know, man. I really – well, listen. South Carolina got 5 votes. I think Marler's one of those. 1,000%. I think he's one of those. I
agree with you on please put your name behind it. I'm going to say
make the ballots public.
Yes, that's where I was going.
The AP polls public. Like, let's make these public.
By the way, do you see my weekly Monday rant on the AP poll every Monday? Because
I've seen it. Yes,
I go stupid. Like,
I think I heard you say last year. Like, I know some of these people that vote in the AP poll. They're just straight up dumb.
Yeah, Chris,
they're dumb.
Chris, we literally had someone put SMU at number 1.
At least with that, you can call them out.
Oh, I did call them out.
You have to.
Chris, I don't mean this in a wrong way. We're letting some people vote in that. But, I mean, the AP poll, I guess, technically doesn't mean anything anymore, really, other than for TV ratings. So I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Like, I mean, because it's not – there's no
shit
weight.
Like that is why it doesn't matter.
It is shit like that.
And it's shit like people voting for Vandy and whoever else that makes the media poll not matter.
Well –
like the way you should look at the media poll, I feel like, is you should look at that as like, the common fan should be able to look at that and be like, oh man, this is a really good gauge on where, like, how the conference is. Because these people outside of the coaches and players, they're the ones that, and people affiliated with the programs, whatever. But like, they know the most about these teams in the conference, in the landscape, certainly more than the common fan. It's like, it's never been less true than it is now. So
without a doubt. And listen, because I quote tweeted him earlier, I'm just going to, like, JD Piquel put the entire Alabama DB room as the first team.
Supposedly.
Well, that's what he said.
That's what he said. It's supposed.
I'm just taking his words. Like, well, there's 2 things. Number 1, thank you for admitting what you did. Okay. Saying what you did. And the second point of that is what?
Yeah.
What? So I agree. Look, SEC Media Days, and I'm not trying to take away from it. Y'all do a lot of really good content. You and your team do really good content there. Oh, God, there was some bad content that came out of it. Like talking about Oklahoma and asking if there's the surprise team as an example. And I listened to so much of it because, well, especially from the local people there, when you have them on. Okay, well, sell me on it. Okay, sell me on that being the situation of what you believe. None of them brought up their offensive line. Mm-hmm. None of you. John Mateer better be the second coming of Jaden Daniels. He better be the second coming of Cam Newton. He better be the second coming of Tim Tebow, because you're not replacing anything. Like, you can justify a lot of these things. So, again, I think when we go there are talking points that are unrealistic, very unrealistic to what the actual reality of it is. So that for me is why it's talking season, Chris. I mean, like, great, but I'm not there yet in reference to I agree with you. If you're going to do something, put your name on it. Like, I know from a local thing that, Lenore Sellers being the first team all SEC versus Garrett Nussmeier got some pub. Who gives a shit? Who really gives a shit? Because I don't. I mean, we're acting like, was I surprised that Lenore Sellers was number 1? Yes. I also saw him break 27 tackles and a half versus Texas A&M too. So it's not like you can make it egregious all you want to, and it's fine. And I love look, I can make the argument for Garrett right now if I needed to, but let's not poo-poo on Lenore Sellers and what he did. I mean, there's a lot of things that you could have put out.
I was surprised to see Sellers QB1.
I was too.
Because South Carolina, I mean, listen, they got a lot of love at Media Day. South Carolina doesn't typically get that kind of hype from the media. I mean, just historically, they just don't. So I was –
Boy, they got a lot to replace.
Especially defensively, yeah. Especially defensively. Yeah.
Well, boy. I mean, we'll see, and that's what the season's about. I mean, but, like, I got to be real with you. I mean, I guess some of y'all are casting out Georgia for what it's worth. Some of you are casting them out. And all right.
I picked Georgia to finish third, and you'd have thought I picked them to go 7-5 by some of those dog fans. I got Bama 1. I had Bama 1.
Sell me on Bama.
Well, I love the roster. I think quarterback's the pick to click. I mean, I think the wide receiver room is stacked. I mean, the offensive line, I don't feel great about it. Mm-hmm. I know you and I have talked about Caden Proctor getting shoved around against elite competition.
Pushed around.
Pushed around. I think Ty Simpson is going to be a much better fit in what DeBoer and Ryan Grubb want to do offensively than Jalen Milroe was. I mean, I think defensively they're going to be nasty. They may not have the best secondary in the conference like J.D. Pickell was trying to make out, but, I mean, I think at all three levels, I think they're stacked on the defensive side. So,
yeah,
I don't know, man. I still think, and I've been very critical of Kalen DeBoer. I still think he's a pretty damn good coach.
Oh yeah.
I don't know that a lot of us gave enough credit to, because I talked a lot about Mike Elko, year one of a new head coach, all the change and changing the culture and getting guys to buy in, all those buzzwords. We didn't talk about that quite as much as Kalen DeBoer because what he was inheriting, right? It was so elite, but still there's a transition period anytime you're in year one. So I think going into year two, I don't know, man. I love that Bama roster. I just think that roster top to bottom is elite. I mean, I think there's few teams in the conference that wouldn't trade their roster, honestly, right now for what they've got. So maybe outside of quarterback.
Boy, I normally am not the guy that defends the state of Texas, but here we go. There's no way in my imagination where Texas should not have walked out of there number one. No way.
Well, no. I had Texas 2 and then winning the SEC title. So,
yeah, I mean,
I think they've got the best roster in the conference.
Oh, it's not.
Their last year's Ohio State to me.
Let me think. I would agree from a defensive standpoint in reference to talent. Quarterback with Walker Howard versus Arch Manning, no, because of experience. Now, right. Arch's ceiling, good Lord, is, I mean, light years ahead of Walker Howard.
Yeah.
Something to be said about experience. Chris, think about this. 3 out of the last 4 national title winners had a quarterback that wasn't drafted in the first 4 rounds. Okay? So you get to a situation where you had a walk-on in Gunner Stockton and the mailman, okay, and then you go to Walker Howard, okay? So I don't know if where Ohio State separated themselves was defensively, they were just on a different level. I think that is Texas. I think that they by far have the most nasty, just absolutely filthy front seven. Anthony Hill, Colin Simmons, Moore, and the boys. Good heavens to Betsy. I mean, good. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous. Colin Simmons might not start. He got first team SEC honors. He did not start a year ago. He didn't start. He's one of the best dudes in the SEC off the edge.
He's a freak.
Right. Well, people were putting Dylan Stewart ahead of him in some regards, and I'm like, huh? I mean, no. And I like Dylan Stewart, but 9 sacks is greater than 6 sacks, okay? That's number one. Number two, you get to a situation where I don't know if Arch is going to have those first-time starter moments, and I think everybody gets that. But when I look at everywhere else, is Gunner Stockton not? Is Ty Simpson not? I mean, DJ Lagway started games, but he hasn't been through an entire year yet. What is his injury like? The only 2 like legitimately in SEC starters that return here that have been there the entire year are Lenora Sellers and Garrett Nussmeier. So I just think Texas, from a roster standpoint, Chris, if one of their corners goes down, they legitimately have 3 DBs that were 5 stars. By the way, they just brought in another one in Kate Phillips. I mean, Justice Terry is going to be a backup defensive tackle for them. Like that is, you're starting to get to a place where, Chris, that they're Georgia and Bama and everybody right now. Yeah. So I can't be sold on Bama at the current moment because, again, Texas, when they go, they are Nick Saban you in a way, right? Where, hey, man, they're too deep as 2 5-stars in the interior. So that's where I am. There's a lot of teams that you can make a lot of hay for. I could not walk out of let me tell you this. The most shocked that I was about SEC media days was that Texas wasn't the consensus top team in the SEC. That was the most shocked that I was, because going into there, I was like, there's no way that you've looked at these teams and you looked at that front seven and didn't say to yourself that they're not the top team. That's for me. Could you sell me on others? Sure, but I can't get there right now.
What about LSU? Is there a world where LSU can finish 1?
Is there a world? Yeah, you have the top pick at quarterback in the NFL. Garrett Nussmeier is your Heisman Trophy winner. Defensively, you're better in the defensive run game. But Chris, I mean, they didn't even go through spring with what I believe is going to be their starting offensive line. They gave up 6 sacks and a half in the spring, and they only played a half. Does Garrett turn down on turnovers? Can they run the football? LSU's getting a lot of hype because of what they brought in. And that very well may work. I'll tell you this, from an intensity standpoint in the offseason, Jack Pyburn from Florida has brought more intensity in that weight room and in that place than they've ever had, even more than the Jaden Daniels year defensively. There are things that I could sell them on, but right now, LSU's got to go out there and prove that they can do it. And Brian Kelly's got to prove some things. So I would have put LSU 3rd or 4th, depending. But I can't get there with them yet. Yeah. I think that they have way too many question marks that need to be answered. Chris, they're going to have 4 of their 5 secondary that are from the portal. Almost. AJ Hawsey, does Cooley start? Does Jordan Gilbert, run it back? But he was a transfer. Mansour Delane, Jakeem Jackson. Do you bring it? Is the 5-star number 1 corner in the country, DJ Pickett, does he start? I mean, again, I don't know what their secondary is going to be. I legitimately don't. I have absolutely no clue. By the way, what does Harold Perkins do? I mean, he's moving to star, which, by the way, LSU sent that safety blitz 50.4% of the time last year. Newsflash to everybody. Here's a hot take that nobody wants to talk about with LSU. When you go into pass pro and you're putting Harold Perkins against a tight end and a running back, Chris, if they're going to send him like that and you have Patrick Payton on the other side, there's a lot of questions that LSU is like, damn, man, they might be dangerous here. There's just too many questions for them. I mean, if Garrett goes from 17 turnovers to, let's just say it's 18 and cut it in half, and he goes to 9, Chris, I think they beat USC. I think they beat A&M. I think they could beat Florida. They're a playoff team. They're not – LSU is not as far off as they were. But if Garrett Nussmeier doesn't flop against South Carolina, do you lose that game? If Jackson Dart doesn't throw into quadruple coverage and gets picked off, do they lose against Ole Miss? There's a lot of situations, Chris, where you could look in them and say they're not that far away. There's also a lot of situations where you can look and say, well, man, if they don't change, they're not making it.
I was intrigued by the convo around Florida at media days. There's a lot of people that are like that were down on them, like really down on them. A lot of, I don't want to say shots were taken, but a lot of, I don't know. It just surprised me the amount of people that, questioning DJ Lagway, calling him overrated, just don't think Florida is going to be very good. I'm like, I kind of like Florida. I mean, I think Florida's going to be, I don't know. I mean, I like Florida's roster. I like what Florida's got.
The question around Florida is a couple of things. Number one, have you finally sustained yourself, offensively? Can Billy make right decisions? I mean, Chris, you're a year away from them having having 2 guys on a punt coverage team that were wearing the same number.
Yeah. It's a huge year for Billy. I still look at him, Blake, which this would be a fun exercise, by the way, if you want to do this before we get out of here. And I'm going to let you finish, obviously. But when it comes to Billy, I'm going to be dropping like hot seat tier rankings for every coach.
Pittman at 1.
Well, so it's not even at once. It's one of those those tier things where it's like green, lighter green, yet like they're categories.
I got you.
So I think Napier's seed is still warm. I think his seed is still warm.
Oh, heavens, yes.
For sure. So my categories are untouchable, safe for now, needs a good season, warm, scorching, and dead man walking is my
Where's BK on that list?
Needs a good season.
Agreed. Who's at the dead man walking? Sam Pittman and who else?
I've only got Pittman, but I've got Venables and Hugh Freeze as their seats are scorching going this year.
Yeah.
Because I think both of them here's the thing. I put Pittman dead man walking because I just think it's over. Like I know maybe I'm a little bit lower in Arkansas than you are, Blake, but I just don't like the fan base is so like the Pittman era is what it is. Like they're just all waiting for the change to happen. Like you know what I mean? Like, but dude, talking to some Arkansas folks there, they think, he gets to 7-5, he's back. I mean,
Taylor Green scares the shit out of me.
Dude, he's a really good player, but I just don't know who. I mean, he's going to make some things happen and maybe even win a game that maybe they shouldn't, but I just don't. Who's around him? I mean, talk about teams that lost something. I mean, is there a receiver on that roster as good as Andrew Armstrong was? I certainly don't think there's a running back as good as Jaquindon Jackson was. They had a scary team last year.
And they clipped Tennessee.
They did. But they also, they go 6-6?
Yeah, they went 6.
I mean,
and their schedule was brutal. They had Texas.
Yeah.
They had
it's brutal
LSU.
again.
Yeah.
Trade out Oklahoma State for Notre Dame.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, I don't know, man. But yeah, so I've got Kirby, Sark. So here I got Kirby, Sark, Lane Kiffin, and Drinkwitz in the untouchable category right now.
Probably right.
Drinkwitz after back-to-back 10-win seasons in Como. He's in that place right now. Mm-hmm. Safe for now, Elko, Clark, Lee, Heupel, and Beamer. So it's like safe ... for now. Like, you know what I mean? So you're not in the untouchable category, but you're good. But if you had a bad season, it could change. You could go back to being on like a warm seat.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, I agree with that. What's the next?
And then needs a good season, Jeff Levy, Kalen DeBoer, and Brian Kelly.
I agree with that. I got to be real with you. I don't know if I don't put Jeff Levy in the – I mean, because, again, but here's the thing about Levy. The thing is that how much are you investing into him? Like I feel bad for him in some senses.
Yeah, I mean, his can change really quickly. What if they lose to Southern Miss week 1?
What happens if they lose to – I mean, they got Arizona State, too, who might win the Big 12. I mean, I don't think they're losing to Southern Miss. Southern Miss is god-awful. Yeah. But I didn't think they would lose to Toledo either.
And by the way, Toledo, they got Kentucky week 1. So upset alert. Watch out for the Rockets.
Golly.
Dude, I'm telling you, watch out for the Rockets.
On your list?
So he's under warm with Billy Napier. Listen, I could put him at scorching, but I don't know how much of a shit Kentucky gives, to be honest with you.
Think about this? By the way, speaking of coaches that aren't getting their fair share, Kentucky is giving men's basketball 45% of their TV revenue.
I mean, Blake, are you surprised by? I mean, I'm not.
But
I mean, basketball is their calling card, dude. I don't think Kentucky's willing to sacrifice basketball for football.
But here's the sad news: Kentucky basketball is not generating the money that football does. It still isn't. So again, you could say that, and that's fine, and I know what you're doing. But what do you expect Mark Stoops to do then?
That's a good point.
I mean, you can't tell the man that you're going to cut him more than anybody, and then say that like, hey, we're not going to, I mean, Arkansas is doing the same thing to Sam Pittman. I mean, some of these schools, Chris, from a basketball standpoint, give no shits about football, and they're showing it by the money that they're investing in.
On a side note, Blake, Kentucky, I mentioned this when we've been talking best case, worst case, doing just different series and segments. Heck, I mentioned this when I posted it. Kentucky is the most, like for us, from like our vantage point. I don't know about you. I don't know how much y'all talk Kentucky, but
we have not talked Kentucky in over a year.
Right. Well, probably for good reason, because like Dude, I don't think there's a fan base like less engaged with football commentary than Kentucky. Like they don't give a damn, dude. I mean, there's not a program with less juice in the conference than Kentucky. So
no, there isn't.
They had a little bit of hype going there for a while. Obviously, I mean, I think Stoops has done an incredible job, but after last season, they're just. And I mean, dude, I even posted. I did a video and even posted it. Was like, I mean, Kentucky fans, like, if y'all are out there, let us know. Like, I just feel like y'all are dead. There's nothing. People were commenting like, yeah, I can't wait for basketball.
Well, and
they'll admit it.
Well, and here's the thing too. They had Barry and Brown. They had Keys.
Yeah,
they got everybody. They got the quarterback situation wrong. They got the offensive coordinator situation wrong. So, yeah, I mean, Chris, I know that you try to cover all 16 teams as fairly as you can, but why would I talk about them if they're not? If you don't want to be serious about it either. Yeah. You can't make me be serious when you're not serious.
Right. That's how I feel too. Yeah.
It's like a girl. It's like a girl that you're dating. Look,
dude, I got some pushback on that during baseball season. It's like, why do you not talk about XYZ as much? I'm like, well, I mean, we talk about the teams the most that have the fan bases that care the most. And if you don't give a damn as a fan base, then why would we?
Well, and Kentucky went 13-17 in the league too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, I throw Auburn in there. Like, they don't have some rabid baseball fan base. I mean, they've got some good fans. Don't get me wrong, they do. But we're not going to talk about Auburn baseball as much as we talk about LSU baseball.
There's Auburn
Tennessee
fans.
Baseball.
Do Auburn fans even lock in until the playoffs? Do they even watch the games until the end of the season?
Again, some of them do because I've met a few, but yeah, not as a whole, I don't think.
No, they don't.
Not as a whole.
But, speaking of Auburn, I guess I kind of want to end on them. Thoughts of Hugh Freeze's we're a playoff team?
I appreciate the fact that Hugh is leaning into the expectations because you might recall a couple months ago, Blake, when he went on record and said, like, we're trying to get to a bowl game, and that did not sit well with anybody, nor should it have. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think they're leaning into the expectations. I don't trust Hugh Freeze for anything, dude. I'm to the point where I'm like, I'm kind of out. I'm out on Hugh Freeze, like being the answer at Auburn. I just, I here's the thing. And I said this at Media Days. You might've seen the clip. You can easily fall in love with the Auburn roster. Like you can really talk yourself into Auburn being I don't know about going to the playoff, but here's the thing. They have a roster good enough, Blake, to be, when we turn the calendar to the month of November, be having conversations about Auburn and playoff. Now, I'm not saying they're going to get there, but I think they're good enough roster-wise to be having those kind of convos. Again, I just don't trust Hugh Freeze to get the most out of them. I don't. Yeah,
and you're putting all of your chips in the middle with Jackson Dart, which – even Brent Venables came out.
Well, Jackson Arnold, but yeah.
I mean, what I say, Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Jackson Arnold and Brent Venables came out and said, look, all the issues offensively weren't his fault a season ago. Yeah, I'm not, Chris, you can't win 5-6 games and then turn around and then say that we're a playoff contender. Now, you've recruited like a playoff contender. You have. But where is that? Did you show glimpses? I mean, Chris, they still lost to Cal last year.
Ugly game. Ugly game.
And let's be real. Did Peyton Thorne have a worse season than Jackson Arnold did? No, he didn't. Mm-hmm. I mean, he didn't. I mean, what are we talking about? And listen, there were two teams at SEC Media Days that I felt like that they pushed their expectations that are not realistic. I don't even think it was Florida really in those two. I'm going to piss you off, or not piss you off. I'm going to make you come out and say it for one of them. It's Auburn and it's Vandy. And I know that you're a Nashvilleian. Okay.
Hey, Diego Pavia truther over here.
God,
he said, I'm coming back to compete for a natty. I didn't come back to go 6-6. Come back to win a national championship. I respect the energy from Diego. I respect it.
What's the difference between Auburn saying it and Vandy saying it? That's where I get to a place where, okay, So we're really criticizing Hugh Freeze and saying he's leaning into the expectations.
Well, I don't even think it's criticism. I was glad to hear Hugh lean in the expectations.
Well, I didn't mean you specifically,
right.
but I'm just meaning like the overall narrative of Hugh was, oh, look at this dude. He thinks they're going to a playoff.
Yeah,
brother. Clark Lee ran out there and said that we're going to be playing meaningful games in January. Can you beat Georgia State for me first? I mean, I'm dead serious.
The Panthers come to Nashville, Blake.
I mean, look. Come on,
game.
I mean, go look at Pavia's last 5 games of the season, and listen to me. I'm gonna die on this hill that y'all don't watch football if you think that he's a top 3 quarterback. I'm sorry. I am dead. I am sorry. There's no way on God's green earth that you think that Vandy's there. There's no way. Get out of my face with brother.
Top 3 is aggressive. I give you that.
Top 3 is aggressive. Chris, he ended in the top 3. Look at some of these people's lists. He's at 3.
3's aggressive. I love Pavi to death, too. Gamer.
There's no way that I am putting him above DJ Lagway, Garrett Nussmeier, John Mateer for what it's worth, Lenora Sellers. There's no way. There's no way that you can be there. And then we come out here because it's cute little old Vandy.
Yeah.
We love to root for the underdog.
That's what it is. It's non-threatening Vandy.
It's non-threatening.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Get out of my face. You know what it is?
Still picked to finish 14th.
It's the Coastal Carolina of football.
Oh, God. Okay. We don't need to go there.
We
don't need to utter that name on this show. God.
They came out here being cute. They thought,
dude, do you know, Blake, do you know how many questions and comments I got at Media Days about Coastal Carolina?
No shit.
Yes. Blake, everyone on planet Earth, essentially, but everybody in SEC media took notice of that when it was happening. Rest assured. Like, damn near everybody I talked to brought that up, like, man, you really had a time with Coastal fans a couple weeks ago. Because we're talking about how you been. Like, yeah, did College World Series. Man, how'd it go with those Coastal fans? Like, I got that more than a few times. Like, everyone took notice of that.
Well.
And hey, I'm like, hey, you saw the content.
Hey, hold on.
You saw the content.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Jay Johnson's calling me. Hold on. Hey, Coach. Oh, you want me to tell Chris you're welcome? Okay. Jay Johnson says you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Coach.
Oh, wait, hold on. Here's Kate Anderson. Hello, number 3 overall pick to Seattle. Oh, thank you for pitching a 9-inning shutout for Chris so that he didn't have to get back on Coastal's.
Boy, this offseason would have sucked. I mean, for both of us, but good God, they'd have been insufferable. Yeah,
dude,
I got to ask
the most question I've been asked, by the way, public, like when I'm out in public, is how was Omaha? And I'm like, well, it's the windiest city I've ever been in, number 1. But number 2, I mean, to watch LSU baseball after some of the fan base was firing their coach midway through the season for him to win. By the way, did you see today, baseball side note, did you see Jay Johnson lifting the new flag at Alex at the box?
I did not see that.
Proudest coach I've ever seen in my life. He's lift because when you walk in where you shot the video and they're lifting the flag, you got all the national championships, and now you got 8 of them things. They had to put a whole new foul pole in there. Look at that tattoo. I should have kept a long sleeve shirt on. But they have him up, and he's like, there goes number 8. Chris, they want number 9. Which, by the way, side baseball note.
Yeah, I told you every day I'm at Media Days, I keep seeing Blake talking about some new transfer portal pickup, or I'm like, good God, Jay Johnson.
Make LSU baseball chubby again, and we got the best first baseman in the SEC, baby. Let's roll.
I did see that.
My man York's going to be down about 250, 260 from what I hear. Some things I hear. And
he's gonna transfer to the state of Louisiana and go down in weight. That's impressive.
Hey baby, I've lost 125. It's doable. It's doable.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Look at these guns.
Let's go.
It's doable. Stay away from catfish po' boys. Stay away from pyrans. That's all I got to tell you. There's no way that the first
you should get like it's another level of discipline to go on a diet in the state of Louisiana.
Chris,
it's another level of discipline.
I had my birthday this past week. Okay, you and y'all.
Yeah, happy. By the way, happy belated.
Thank you. Cheers. Happy
belated.
Everybody bringing in food, and by the way, sidebar, people don't realize Louisiana's got a massive Italian culture around where I live. Clearly, all of our media is freaking Italian. So not only do you get the Cajun culture, now I got to fight off grandmammy who's making spaghetti and meatballs and lasagna. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do? So I think he'll be fine. I know that's a baseball sidebar, but
no, listen, LSU's crushing. Dude, like 210
SEC.
days till first pitch. So
how many?
Like 200 and something, 210 or something like
who's
that.
Counting?
Who's
counting?
Who's counting it down? Right?
Nobody's counting.
Exactly.
Come on. Nobody knows when tip-off is for basketball. Nobody's got that countdown.
No.
No. I guarantee Dave Shoemate's got that countdown.
I don't know if he does or not. Well, it's kind of tough to count down to because some teams open on different dates. I don't know what the first day of regular season college basketball is though.
Me either. It's
like late October, early November.
October,
yeah. It's like end of October, beginning of November, which the calendar sucks because nobody pays attention to college basketball until like middle of January. So if even by then,
Chris, I got to be honest.
We will.
I do. I won't.
We will.
I won't.
AKA Dave Shoemate and whoever we add as his co-host for our new basketball show.
Oh.
I'll pay attention to it as well a little bit, but
LSU will go 14-1 and get me all bought in, and then get blown out by 60.
LSU hoops.
Did you see Shaq? By the way, said that LSU can never have a contender in men's basketball.
Did he really say that?
Yeah.
Damn.
I got to go out there tonight and talk about it.
That's tough.
Well,
what was the reasoning he gave?
It's a football and baseball town, and you're not going to be relevant
until you're wrong.
Well, he said that you're not going to be relevant until you win, and it's been my screaming argument about why you're not making. Jay Johnson should have more TV revenue to spend than any head coach in college baseball. Sorry, he doesn't. By the way, he's beating Arkansas, he beat Tennessee, he beat Texas, and he beat A&M three times for transfers with less money. By the way, speaking of Texas, good Lord. I mean,
the way they're recruiting.
Well, and you're getting to a place where I'm starting to ask the question how some of this shit is legal in a baseball sense. Everybody keeps telling me that, everybody keeps looking at football and basketball NIL. Buddy, okay. $500,000 fully guaranteed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. Baseball will never have the draw and the interest that like football has. But I've always said this, Blake. The number of folks that are invested in it is smaller, no doubt. But the difference is those folks that are invested in baseball are die hard to the point of they're a little crazy. I mean that in the most complimentary way. Like you're not just half in with baseball. You love it.
Think about the tailgate that we were at mostly.
Yeah.
You had someone spend $1 million for a bus and stay 2 weeks in Omaha.
Yeah.
Think about that for just a second and let that sink in. The dude had a filter of a bus that shoots out alcohol.
God.
Great times. But I mean, when you really think of it, if you really think about it, I mean, it's just it's insane.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Anyway.
It's nuts. Blake, let's put a pin in it. Really good stuff. Again, guys, football's here because we're talking SEC versus Big Ten. Soon we'll have games. God, I can't wait. I cannot wait. By the way, on a football note, before we close out, Blake, training camps are starting all over the place. I'm sure the Saints are going to get going soon.
Yeah, they start report today.
Okay. Tennessee Titans getting going actually this weekend is Welcome Back weekend at Nissan Stadium. Your boy's going out there. Going to get a look at old Cam Ward. So, obviously, Will Levis now down for the year. So, it's the Cam Ward show
Too much
in
mayo.
Nashville.
He's eating too much mayo.
Something,
dude. He puts mayo in his coffee.
I know that's disgusting. It's disgusting. And I'm a mayonnaise guy. Like I like mayo on sandwiches, and that's gross.
It's very gross.
That's gross. So
very gross.
Yeah, excited, man. Again, football's here. I mean, it
is here. It's very exciting time.
It is very serious. I mean, I know with your content, Blake, you've been rocking and rolling. Our content is really, really starting to heat up. Yeah, I mean, it's
gonna be fun, buddy.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. Excited to do this with you on a weekly basis, getting closer to the football season and in the season. Yeah,
once season gets here, there's gonna be some crazy. Chris, we're gonna be yelling and screaming and
hooting and hollering, having a real good time.
I'm ready to hoot, and I got the holler ready.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun for sure. Guys, again, we appreciate you all tuning in. Before we get out of here, I do want to tell you about our friends over at FanDuel, because as always, we're brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook, here to help you make every moment more. The app is safe, secure, and super easy to use. If you already have an account, FanDuel Sportsbook offers great promotions every day to all users with things like Profit Boost tokens, new features like Parlay Hub, build your own same-game parlay, or choose from one of the popular SGPs already made for you in the Parlay Hub. If you haven't signed up yet, go to FanDuel.com/SECU to learn more. That's FanDuel.com/SECU. Get into the action with offers you won't want to miss. And again, guys, they've got college football, college basketball, MLB in full swing, NBA, NHL. Hey, you can bet on fight night, whatever it is. Just make sure you go to FanDuel.com/SECU to get a $250 deposit bonus when you win your first $5 bet. Once again, FanDuel.com/SECU to get that $250 deposit bonus today. Once again, guys, this is To Your Point. I am Chris Phillips. He is Blake Ruffino. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications, check us out via podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, you can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. For Blake Ruffino, I'm Chris Phillips. Till next time, we appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk to you all on the other side.